GenreBlast Film Fest 2023 is officially upon us. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what GenreBlast even is, according to their website, it is 4 days of independent genre film goodness in the mountains of Virginia from August 31st to September 3rd at the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema in Winchester, Virginia. They screen the latest in independent, cult, niche, and underground films that are not easily accessible. It's a festival for filmmakers by filmmakers. So this is the place that you go if you love the process and the journey for creating a film. And as you guys know, I just released a movie of my own this year that I wrote, directed, edited, and starred in. So if there was ever a film festival that I would want to screen this at, or maybe even the only one that would accept it, would probably be GenreBlast. I consider the festival to be one of a kind. I'll be covering a selection of films from the festival this year, as I have done in the past, starting with one of today's feature films, Poundcake. Let's get cracking. Poundcake tells the story of a serial killer on the loose, killing a bunch of straight white guys around town. But this day and age, nobody really cares because straight white guys are usually a problem, and some people consider this killer, nicknamed Poundcake, to be more of a vigilante because he's getting rid of that main problem. So Poundcake is in the genre of horror comedy, directed by Owner Turco. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but there is an in-your-face social commentary in this film on a number of important issues such as racism, homophobia, and really the history of the worst things to have ever happened to human beings. You know, you got slavery, you got certain political choices, why minorities are minorities in the first place, and it all seems to point towards the white man. So when a slasher type killer is killing white men, not very many people seem to care all that much, at least not as much as they would if it was killing minorities. I thought a lot of what was going on in terms of the idea here was very good, and from a technical vantage point, the strengths of this film seem to lie most heavily on the focus of the dialogue, the cinematography, and even some of the performances that were pretty decent. From the vantage point of the editing room, there's a lot of perspective going on in this film, a lot of characters that have their own stories that you kind of have to juggle. And it's all told through the narration of a large number of podcasters who all have their own thoughts and theories on this killer, as well as the woke nation in which they live. So again, the idea is not too bad, and it's shot relatively well. But, there are aspects of the execution that I didn't really care about all that much. So narratively, I'm not entirely sure what they wanted to accomplish with this film, because the message it's not clear. Yes, there is social commentary, but it all seems to come at you in random waves and concepts, but nothing's really all that connected. And at the end of the day, there's no true main character or protagonist, and because of that, not a single character in the film is trying to do anything other than the killer. The rest of the characters simply have a lot to say. Lots and lots of opinionated, long-winded conversations that end up, in your face, but none of the characters actually do anything about the problem that they all collectively agree that they have. That means the motion of this film is mostly at a standstill. Whenever you have a movie like this, where it's a tremendously flawed narrative, you often find the way they end it to either be anticlimactic, rushed, or random, or a mixture of all three, and this was a mixture of all three. The end didn't really make much sense whatsoever, because I don't think the filmmakers really knew how to successfully end a movie where there is no momentum throughout. But does any of that matter? That's the question. As I said in the beginning of the review, this is a horror comedy, and whenever you have something like that, you have to already be in a really, really tight niche. Both horror and comedy are among the most subjective things out there. There's going to be more people that don't line up with the ideas seen in this film than do. But those that are in the target audience might actually find this film to be insanely smart, insanely clever, they'll love it to pieces. But me, I don't know. I don't think I line up with that. I did chuckle here and there with some of the jokes, not gonna lie, I had some good ideas, but the rest of the time, the lack of the narrative bothered me more, I'm sorry to say. So I'm gonna say I scored Poundcake a C letter grade, final overall score of 63%, 63 out of 100 possible stars. If you take a quick look at my technical unbiased score right there, you'll see that that's where a majority of the positives lie. Like I said, There's a strong emphasis on dialogue in the film. The cinematography is decent. The ideas aren't bad. The performances are believable more often than they're not. But the bias score, or just how I thought about it, that was a lower score, mostly because of that narrative. You know, it's not a bad movie, but the lack of the narrative, I believe, really hurt it. What about you guys though? Are you at GenreBlast? Are you watching all these movies? Have you seen Poundcake? If you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. As for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe button, bell to be notified when I come out with my next review for GenreBlast. And until then, peace out.